It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. I want to thank everybody that actually subscribes to my show all over the world and show me love, and I'm giving it right back to you. In the house of The Legends, he's a real legend. He goes all the way back to the 80s, and he's been playing, and he's still playing right now. I give you the legendary DJ Reggie Wells. Welcome to the Legends, man. How are
Thank you for having me, Tyrone.
You know,
how are you?
It's very, it's very crazy because I've been trying to get you for at least a year
I
now.
know.
This guy never answers his phone.
You know what it is, it's living the nightlife.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you're up, I might be sleeping. When you're sleeping, I'm up.
Right. Okay.
So that's why we kept on missing each other.
So let's take it back to the beginning, Reg, when
Okay.
you started actually doing this thing called DJing. Tell the viewers how you got started. Man.
Wow. Well, how I got started, I used to try, I was imitating a DJ at that time. It was WWRL.
Right.
Or Hank Span.
Right, Hank Span.
Right.
That was an AM station.
The AM station
Right.
at the time. And what happened, I used to, my voice had changed at the age of like 14.
Okay.
And I used to always listen to Hank Span, and then I imitate him, and then I would, believe it or not, I would look in the phone book, right? And look for somebody's name like Wells, and I'll call them, act like I was on the radio station.
Right.
And I say, listen, if you can name your favorite radio station, I got a grand prize selected just for you.
Wow.
And they'd be going, hoo, hoo, hoo. And
Okay.
then, so that's how I kind of got started. And it was a promoter at that time by the name of Jerry Roebuck.
Okay.
He was promoting clubs back then, and at that time, I used to just say slick stuff on the microphone at the house at the time.
Right.
They invited me down to a club, and I was just emceeing. I was emceeing at the time. I wasn't DJing.
Right.
So he hired me to come down to a club, and whatever I was saying, they liked it, and another promoter was there. He hired me. Then another promoter from the other gig hired me. So I just kept on just going up and up and up. Yeah, something like that. But I started playing as a DJ at 371 in the Bronx, and that was in 1978.
Okay.
But I was emceeing. They used to call him the man with the golden voice that talked more shit than the Total Ball
Okay.
Flush.
All right.
Right. But anyway, yeah. So that's how I kind of got started. It was people gave me an opportunity. Whatever
Right.
I was doing, it just went to the next level, to the next level, to the next level.
It's funny because I didn't hear about you till actually Elmo Christian had a club called Laughs.
Right, I remember.
I was playing there for a little while, me and my boy Gary Morton and another guy. That's how I met Kevin when he was doing like Silver Shadow.
Oh, Kevin Whitley.
And all of them used to come up to the club.
Right.
And stuff, and everybody was talking about Justine's. Matter of fact, it was Charisma Funk that told me about Justine's.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, I got to go up there and check it out. But when I went up there, you was much, much younger then, so
Right.
I was like, you didn't have no gray, you ain't had nothing, man. But it's been a long time that you was there. So let's talk about how long you've been there and the energy that was
Right.
actually taking place.
Well, before I started working at Justine's, I was working at this club, 371. It was in the Bronx on 166th Street. And I was working with DJ Hollywood, Eddie Chiba, and rest in peace, Junebug.
Right.
And it was all four of us. And that's one of the clubs that I truly enjoy working for because it was four of us.
Right.
And every week, even though we worked together, but we was kind of battling each other because when Hollywood would do his thing, Eddie Chiba would do his thing, and I'd come on and do my thing. So we was learning from each other.
Right, right.
And that's one club I could say where you had all four DJs that made a name for themselves. Usually when you work in a club, and if it's two DJs, one is outshining the other. One is the lead DJ, the other DJ come on, he's just a substitute.
Right.
But, so what happened when I had left 371 and went down to Justine's. I was working for, I don't know if you remember, Herman M. and Friends, Scotty Flash.
Yeah, Scotty Flash, of course,
It was Herman M. and Scotty Flash.
Right,
They was
right.
doing Tuesdays.
Right.
So I was working there on Tuesdays. Then the Dow Twins asked me, are you interested in working on a Thursday? So I said, yeah, because I was Justine's Tuesday and Thursday, 371 Friday and Saturday. Then they asked me, do you want to be the house DJ? I felt that it was time for me to leave the Bronx and go downtown, which I always wanted to work downtown.
Right.
So I ended up working there for approximately 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
You was there for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great experience because when I was working in the Bronx, the music in the Bronx was kind of limited. You know, downtown, you had people coming from Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, Jersey, Staten Island.
Right.
So you had a variety of people where I could have played a variety of music. Believe it or not, in the Bronx, we could take the same 30 records and play them over and over.
Right.
So when I went downtown, I was able to branch out and play a wide range of different types of music. Believe it or not, I was playing punk rock.
Okay.
Back then.
Okay.
You know, so, and plus a lot of celebrities came through the club.
Of
we
course.
Had
Yeah,
Bob
they
Marley,
did.
we
Yeah.
had Rick James, who else? Eddie Murphy used to come through. Yeah, so it was a great experience, yeah.
Let's talk about record pools, because I know back in there was RDRC, Sure,
Sure, right.
Bobby Davis.
I was with Real Record Pool.
Okay.
Real Record Pool, and then I think they changed the name.
They probably
It
did.
was both. It was two guys running Real Real Records.
Okay.
Then I think one of them branched out and started his own record pool.
Okay.
So, and it was in Harlem. I forgot the name of it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, you remember RDRC?
RDRC?
Yeah.
Not
No?
sure, no.
Okay. Well, that was one of the pools that I actually started from
okay,
back in the
okay,
days and
okay.
stuff. I left there because
Oh, it was Disco Den.
it was Disco Den.
Right, Disco Den. Right.
I left there and I went straight to Shore. I was with Bobby
okay.
Davis. I'm still
Okay.
with Shore
Oh,
after all
okay.
these years,
Really?
even though that Bobby's still not there anymore. You know, but
I'm with Franchise.
yeah.
At this time.
They went digital now because
Right.
I remember when we first started, we had to, I don't know if your pool did it though, but we had to actually do the feedback sheets and report to the stations. But you wasn't getting nada.
Right.
You know what
we
I'm
had to
saying?
report our top 20.
Right, exactly, to
Right,
WBLS.
To WBLS, right.
Right.
And that was, it was not, all the DJs didn't have to do it. It was probably the top 10
Right,
that was playing in the prominent clubs.
right.
And we had to report our top 20 or top 10 or something like that. Yeah, I remember that, yeah. Our
So
feedback.
how has it changed since then? I mean, from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s. Let's go towards that.
Well, let me tell you something. A lot of people don't believe. All the places that I play, as long as I've been in the business, I have never owned a sound system in my life until just recently.
Really?
Yeah. If you had lived next door to me, you would never knew I was a DJ. But how I learned how to play with the audience in front of me. And by them being in front of me, I could tell if I'm doing something wrong, if I'm doing something right. Because I used to call them musical chairs. I might play 3 or 4 records.
Right.
And then the fourth one, they might sit down. Then I said, okay, I know I'm not going to play this here. But I would do that early with the small clientele that was in the club. So when they start getting busy and people coming in, the main crowd, so I know what to play. But I learned from playing in front of people.
Okay.
Yeah. And now by me playing with a laptop, I'm going to say this here too. It took me quite some time to get used to it. I'm still getting used to it. The reason why, you know, when you're playing 12 inches back then, you have the cover.
Right.
You have the name of the label. You know, I used to set up my crates where, you know, I have Prelude, I might have, you know, whatever, Motown or West End Records, and they all set, I mean, you know, together.
Right.
But in the front would be the low tempo, in the middle would be the mid tempo, in the back it would be the high tempo. So, but what I'm trying to say is that when I would look through my crates, so I know what I'm looking for when I look at that cover. I might not even know the title of the song, but I knew the song that I wanted to play just from that label and that cover. Now, playing digital, what you see on a laptop,
Right.
all you see is the name of the artist, the title of the songs, and beats per minute, right? See, at times where I'll be saying, okay, wow, I want to play something from, say, Jay-Z.
Right.
Jay-Z had tons of hits. Beyonce had tons of hits. Then I got to remember the title of that song.
Right.
And I'm going like, wow, even though if I set up my crates, you know, you have crates in your laptop. So it kind of bothered me, you know, I'm saying like, what's the name of that song?
Right.
But then back when you playing with crates, all you do is look at
Yeah, exactly.
the album, you know, because I used to buy imports too. You know, I knew what I wanted to play. But sometimes I have to remember the title of, even though you can mark them, you know, with different colors, right? You do that as well.
Well,
on the side.
It's different because the way that I did it was by cover, by BPM.
Right.
You know, on the vinyl tip.
But think about when we was playing vinyl, we didn't have beats per minute.
No, we didn't have beats, but we played by ear.
We had to play by ear, right.
We read the floor to the point of knowing exactly what they like and whatever.
Right,
you know.
right. I think a lot of these DJs, they kind of have it easy because you know what they be doing? They be synchronizing stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
we were more manual.
Right, right.
You know.
But you could say this is 114. The next song that you can play might be 120 or 124. You could synchronize that. You hit that button, and it would match. But see, we had pitch controls.
Right, exactly.
You know? Then DJs today, what they do, they scratch, which is a technique too. Some DJs can't blend.
Right.
Some DJs could scratch it, like I can't scratch.
Okay.
But a lot of them, they throw the song in. They don't blend. They don't blend, you know, fade in, fade out. You know, so today, I mean, listen, they got it easy. And the reason why they really got it easy, they don't know how to, they never had to carry crates.
Exactly, exactly. Well, anyway, we're going to take a short break.
Okay.
And we'll be back with the legendary DJ Reggie Wells. Stay tuned.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house. It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
My assignment, my calling is to inspire, uplift.
You have to make sure your people are partying.
All I want to do is just bring joy to the dance floor and watch people dance.
Tino.
For the love of house.
The dynamic soul sound of
For the love of
DJ
dance.
Tyrone Lowe. DJ Tyrone Lowe. DJ Tyrone Lowe.
That's nice, 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 nice,
DJ Tyrone Lowe. The dynamic soul sounds of DJ Tyrone Lowe.
And we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is the show The Legends. And in the House of the Legends, I have the legendary DJ Reggie Wells. What's going on, dude?
Everything is good.
You know, it's funny that you said when we was talking about the labels and things like that, I had asked you about Anthony Malloy, right? And you said to me, oh, that was the guy with the record with the yellow, with the orange cover.
True, right.
And that's how exactly how back in the
right,
days were.
right.
Now we did a lot of manual labor, man. We carried the bass bottoms, we
Right.
carried the voice in theaters, we
Right.
carried the crates, you know.
Right.
And at 3 o'clock in the morning, we had to break everything down.
Right.
take
Well,
it
see,
back home?
I had a DJ, a sound guy who was working for me. I kind of started him out in business. He was called TNT. He's a sound guy, so he would provide the sound for me. So when I come, he's already set up. I bring my records, I play. He breaks it down. It was like a team. Him, me, and KC, the Prince of Soul.
Okay.
It was us three, and yeah. And another thing, when we was talking about far as working digital, I remember I was watching this DJ, which is the funniest thing, and I knew he didn't know what to play next, but he started looking at beats per minute. So this song that he was playing was 114. He just looked for something that was 114, and he figured that those beats would go together. But what he did wrong, the song that he was playing was high, and the next song that he was playing didn't enhance what he was playing.
Oh, okay.
So he just lost the tempo.
He actually cleared he cleared the floor.
Right. He just figured that these two go together.
Right.
Because they're the same beats per minute. Okay. And you play according to how you feel. A DJ, far as I'm concerned, it's a promoter. Their job is to get the people there.
Right.
Once they're there, it's the DJ house.
Right.
You create the environment. You motivate the people. You take them for a ride.
Right.
That's like you boarding a plane. They pay for a ticket in advance, or they pay the ticket at the door. And once they get into that club, you taking them somewhere. You go low, you go to the house, boom, take them. You communicating with your music. Some DJs, they just be playing just to be playing. Mm-hmm. Not playing with the meaning. What are you doing? You're playing confused.
They're not creating a vibe.
Not creating a vibe, right.
Reg, what I want to ask you is, you're still currently active.
Yeah.
And you actually throw some of the promotional things you do. So let's talk about your marketing strategy.
Well, let me say this. It's no me without the public. And whatever I did in the past and whatever I'm doing currently, it's, they still enjoy coming to my events. I have a variety of people, but the majority, is an older clientele. And I think some of these people that do patronize me, I've known for a long time, or they've been patronizing me for a long time. I've known some of these people before when they was coming to Justine's or 371, where they got married, right? Had kids, raised their kids, right? And now they say, hey, listen, Reg, listen, oh, you still out here? Oh, I have somewhere I could go and identify with the clientele that, they like to be around, So it's no me without them.
Right.
And my strategy is, it's, I just have a nice, nice clientele with nice people, good environment.
Okay.
And, and plus the places that I have my events at, I try to make sure it's a place that they would love to come to.
Right.
And it's safe. We don't have to have all that rah-rah, this and that. But it's, people would tell me, they said, Reg, I don't know how to describe your party. Sometimes it feel like a reunion. I said, a reunion? They said, yeah, I've seen people. I haven't seen these people in a long time. I remember them from back then, this and that. But, again, my strategy is, I try to have parties with, I just had my New Year's Eve party, have my birthday party. I'm getting ready to have an anniversary party as well. And mention a lot of clubs that I had worked for over the years, like the Red Parrot, Justine's, Leviticus, Casablanca, Ipanemas, Savage, Pegasus. I could go on and on and on,
Did you do any radio as far as playing?
Yeah, I was on BLS, but a lot of people thought I had my own radio show, which I did.
Really? Okay.
I was a master mixer.
Okay.
And we used to do a lot of live broadcasts at clubs. We would have it at Red Parrot. They would put me in the field, was to do stuff on Wall Street. Six Flags, broadcasting live. You know, so, but my name was mentioned so much on radio, because back then you could advertise on radio, and it didn't cost that much.
Right.
So now, if I was working for Justine's, I'm working there every weekday advertising. If I was working for a promoter, he bought airtime. So now my name is, on the radio for Justine's, on the radio for different promoters.
Right.
And then back then, you remember when we was able to advertise and we would put the posters
Up, yeah.
up on
Everybody
the
go out and
lamp
give out flyers,
right,
yeah.
flyers, and the lamppost.
Right.
You know, you go up in Harlem, you see them all the posters on
Right,
the lamppost,
right.
but you can't do that now.
Nah.
But I never had my own radio show. I worked on BLS, I worked on Kiss FM, plus I was my school radio station, which I graduated from City College. And at that time, believe it or not, it was David Levy. Him and I.
Yeah, David Levy, yeah.
Him and I was
rocking you. Yeah.
Him and I was at the station, and when I was in City College, it was Curtis Blow, it was Russell Simmons, it was Keith Sweat.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, Allison Williams, and all of us at City College at the same time. We should all be in the lounge. And back then, Keith was still begging.
You know, that's funny, because I always heard he was always a beggar. I mean, through his songs.
He was singing with a group called Jamil at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, but I'm happy for him, yeah.
My question to you is, you know, I'm going to say Bentley, Silver Shadow, Justine's, all in that nature. Was it competitive?
Kind of. Yeah. You could, well, you know, it's to me, the more clubs open, the more people, when they're out there, used to go here, they go to Bentley, they stop by Justine's, and then sometimes when people were at Justine's, when we closed, you know where they used to go?
Where?
To the Paradise Garage.
Right, okay. Okay, yeah.
You know, I was seeing people, they would come to the club, right, to Justine's first, and when we closed, they go down in the bathroom and change their clothes because they go into the garage. Because, you know, we had a little dress code at Justine's, but you go to the garage, you know, you
come
just,
as you are.
Yeah, come as you are. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a competitive kind of, because we was catering to the same clientele.
Right.
You know, I think the more advertisement that they was doing, the more people, you know, like Bentley's, it was always advertising. They was doing live broadcasts every week. So, you know, yeah, it was kind of competitive. But
you know, now that we're talking, I remember the Castle.
Oh, in the Bronx.
Right, yeah.
Right.
I went there one time, and I was really, really amazed.
Right, for that, it was right off the Grand Concourse.
Right, it was like, that was the place to be. I think it was on a Thursday night.
Yeah, I played there quite a few times, yeah.
You know, the upcoming DJs that's coming up right now, I know they're more technical right now, but do you have any advice that you can give to them as far as dealing with this craft, musically?
Well, yeah. Some of them, you know, when they try to play the old school,
right,
they just be playing it just to be playing it. The reason why I say that, because they know it was a classic back then. And then they too quick on the turntables. They don't let the music play.
Okay.
And I call it a medley. You
Right.
know, they play medleys, you know. And especially if you're playing for older clientele, where you could, you know, we from the era where we let the record play.
Right,
and then
exactly.
we know where the break part is. That break part getting ready to come in, now you're getting ready to get the bone out your back then.
I hear you.
And then they cut it off, you know, they go to the next record, you know. But get to know your clientele. Everything, you know, I love hip hop. Everything is not hip hop, you know. To me, there's no number one DJ. They're well-known DJs. They're foremost DJs. They're, you know, DJs that got a prominent name.
Right.
Because there's a variety of music. Now, if you got a DJ that play reggae, right? I don't know all the reggae hits because you got, you know, like house music. I don't know all the house records. You got deep house, with, you know. So you have, you know, it's no number one to me. You know, it's prominent, like I said, foremost, you know, well-known. So the advice that I could give them, like when you playing, read the people that you're playing for.
Right, okay.
And the hardest crowd to really play for, that from my experience, is playing at a wedding.
Oh, really?
You know why? Because
Okay.
you had a variety of people. You got your mother, your grandmother, you got the little kids.
Right.
And you try to play for everybody. And that's a challenge. And I feel that R&B clientele is kind of hard to play for because they just don't dance to anything. Now, you go to the garage back in the day, as long as that beat is pumping and that music is loud, and you got that beat, that's a crowd. You know, they just into it. I love it, you know.
How was your transition from turntables to CDJs?
Oh, like I said, it was kind of, it was hard.
Okay.
It was very hard. It was very hard, because again, from the turntables, I used to play on 1100 A's. I don't know if you
Oh
remember.
yeah, I remember the fat.
Yeah, the fat plate
right.
with 1100 A's.
I played on the best turntables in the world.
Best turntables
in the world.
And you could you didn't have to really mess with the pitch control.
Right.
Even though if it's speeding a little bit, you could just tap it.
Right.
Tap it. Or you remember
It'll
how you
sink
could.
right in.
Right.
Right,
You tap
yeah.
it,
Uh-huh.
or you could hold the middle, just hold it, this and that. Yeah, those are the best turntables I ever really played on, 1100 A's. And when we closed, believe it or not, the busboy took those damn turntables.
Oh, really? I hear you. Well, to get some 11, they're very expensive.
Yeah, very
now.
expensive.
Very expensive.
Right.
My question to you is that if you really can go back, what was your best gig?
Well, it's Red Parrot was a great experience. 371 in the Bronx was a great experience. Not just playing music, but getting along with the staff.
Right.
371 was like a family, from the bartenders to the owners to the DJs. Red Parrot, that was a great experience because I had the opportunity to work with a lot of different artists. 'Cause
Right.
we had artists there. We had Bobby Brown, we had Heavy D, we had Keith Sweat, we had EU doing the butt.
Right.
Believe it or not, we even had what's his name? Stand By Me, Benny King.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And so I had a lot of opportunities to, with the Red Parrot just to work with the artists, so that was a great experience.
You did any studio production?
Believe it or no.
No.
They
What
asked
these
me.
years? Come on, Reggie.
No, they asked me, and it was funny because people, at Justine's, a lot of artists used to come. People working with the record label.
Right.
They would come there and they would bring me, even though I'm in the record pool, but you had the street team.
Right.
So you had the street team. They would come and bring me records. I remember when Curtis Blow brought me These Are the Breaks when it was on the acetate.
Right. Okay.
And then they was asking me, yo, Reg, come to the studio. Can you do a remix? I'm saying, what I was doing, even though I was doing something with the records and while I was playing, but I didn't look at, I was doing a remix, but no studio.
Back in the days, we paraphrased and we double beat and stuff like that.
Right,
that was
right.
considered like a remix.
Right.
Back in those days.
Right.
If you had
But
to
I've
do,
been in the studio.
Okay.
I was working with an independent record company
Okay.
called MacD Records, and it was on Green Street, right off Canal. I was the A&R director.
Okay.
But what happened? This is before Bad Boy. But what happened? The guy, the owner, he didn't give me nothing to work with,
Oh, okay.
and I was going out at giving out my business cards at different shows and this and that, and they would come to the studio. They'd come to my office and they would call me. But then, if I was interested in whatever artist I was interested in, and I tell the owner, listen, we got something here. I think we could work with it. We
Right.
had our own recording studio, our own production. We owned the whole entire building. But I ended up leaving
Okay.
because in the music business, it's a small, what you would call, everybody knows each other.
Right.
So I didn't want to have that name. Oh, Reg is full of this and that. You go down there, he ain't offering you nothing, this and that. We had a Neve board. It was only 3 in the city.
Wow.
With the Flying Faders, the Neve, that's the biggest board. Yeah. So I left, but that's about it. Yeah.
So quickly, tell everybody, my viewers, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, I'm on. I just joined what is it?
TikTok.
TikTok, right?
Okay.
You see, I'm from the old school.
Right.
And I'm on Facebook, Reggie Wells, and I'm on Instagram, DJ Reggie Wells. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can reach me there.
And quickly, tell them about some current events that's coming up for you.
Well, I'm in the process of putting together a weekend trip to do something different. I want to go to a winery. I want to take people out to Niagara Falls for the weekend. We have something coming up for Mother's Day. I'm playing for some other people on a boat ride.
Right.
You know, so I'm a promoter and a DJ. So,
Okay.
and my annual birthday and my annual New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's been a pleasure, and I mean a real pleasure, man, to have this legend right in front of me.
Well, thanks for having me.
You know, and come again,
I
man.
guess when you become a legend, is what is you have to be in the business for a certain amount of time, or the things that you have accomplished.
Well, we're
or
talking
achieved.
about the 70s and the 80s, man.
Oh,
You know,
okay,
so
yeah,
that's very legendary.
Yeah.
You know, and
Oh,
especially
Celebrity Club too. That's when I met Madonna.
Okay.
She came up to
All right.
Harlem in a cab with her 2 dancers.
Okay.
And we had to take her into the coat room to change into her outfit. I wish I had a picture of that. Yeah.
Well, we know we're going to wrap it up right now, man, and it's been a pleasure having you on my show. Come again.
It is a pleasure to be here. Thanks
Extended
for
invitation.
having me. I appreciate
You know,
it very
and
much.
this has been another T-Lo video production, and you guys stay tuned for another episode. In the House of the Legends, we have the legendary Reggie Wells, and he's still doing his thing, so go out there and support him. Stay tuned.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.